It is your turn. I'm sorry it's taken me a while. I've been moving and trying to reorganize my life, and so it took me some time. Here we are. 1 second though, because I forgot to check something. Alright, we are in the half moon in Leo. I happen to love when the moon is in Leo. It's my polarity sign, so I typically feel a lot of like good settling energy, like I guess not settling, but like grounding. Like I get this energy of being able to kind of focus, get things done, organize my thoughts, my life. It's pretty nice. So let's see how that energy affects you as a Pisces. I know it can be quite different for each sign. As we go into the colder seasons and there's more water in the air, that could also affect you, you know. So let's see, who are you? Let's start with that. Mantis beings. Enigma, elusive, and sensitive. Yeah, that pretty much sums up all the Pisces I know, right? Very in and out, very into their feelings. I like to use the Muse Tarot deck when I am reading for Pisces, primarily because of its abstract art. I feel like it, at least according to the Pisces I know, like it really illustrates their thought processes, the way that they think, the way they see the world. So I would not be surprised if this deck was made by Pisces. Even in the inside, you could see all the little fishies swimming around, and I'm like, it's just got super Pisces vibes to me. So we're gonna read from this one. Doop, doop, doop. Alright, what message do we need to hear today? Right off the bat, I'm seeing two very different energies here. So, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, right? And this is kind of like coming up on something, like coming up on abundance, feeling fulfilled, like things coming together, working out, you know? We have the Six of Pentacles. I see partnership here, right? I see somebody like really helping, to establish this, right? You see all these flowers in both these cards. Flowers in tarot represent abundance, right? It represents that which blooms. And this could also represent you on some level of your growth, your development as a person, and within your partnership here. And then we have some very different energy, right? We have Page of Swords with the Queen of Wands in reverse, right? We got fire and air energy showing up. Earth, fire, and air. It's funny, I'm not seeing any water. But that's not to say anything. It's just, with the Page of Swords is kind of like a hater, or somebody who's always looking to criticize or judge, or looking at like the glass half full or half empty. See, I struggle with that. I'm like, how do I illustrate for a pessimistic mind here, or articulate, I guess I should say. It's alien to me. I'm like, you know, but they're looking at things from like a very pessimistic view. And this could be within your workplace. With the Six of Pentacles, this represents like work or private life, right? Somebody that you really grow with, or I guess apart from sometimes, judging by the other cards I'm seeing. There's growth, yes, in what direction, right? We have the Queen of Wands in reverse, right? The Queen of Fire. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy. This is with the Page of Swords. Okay, like, because that's how I saw them. I saw them come out together. With the Page of Swords, this could be somebody who is a harsh critic, or somebody who is showing up, like, kind of like looking at the negative side of a positive situation, if that makes sense. Like somebody who's like for example, say you just get a new house with your partner and they are like, well, I don't like the size of the rooms, or I don't like the stove, or I don't like this, and it's like, and you're like, yeah, but now we have like this whole place that we can like, put our vision into, and we can create a home out of, and all this, and they're like, no, everything's wrong. And or if this is a boss, it could be like, or a business partner even, you could be, or coworker. However, it's somebody in that kind of area of your life where every time you present a good idea and you're like, look, this could help, and they're like, no, hate it, terrible idea. You want change? I don't like change, actually. And and it's actually coming from a place of like envy with the Page of Swords, like always, whether they're envying what other people have or wanting, a certain lifestyle or a certain whatever, and they're like, if this isn't living up to my ideal perception of what that is, it's bad. Rather than looking at any positive aspects of it. So, what is your advice right now? Three of Pentacles, this is like work on a way that you can work together or present a new perspective to them. Show them how things can be better by just doing, right? Rather than trying to explain your vision, start creating your vision, We have Muse of Emotions, right? This could be a soul tie, right? We're seeing the twins with the water pouring out of their heart chakras. And there's a lot of love here, right? There's a lot of love. There's a lot of caring. There's definitely a soul bond where there's like a connection, and an unbreakable connection. And your advice here is not to leave or walk away from the situation. Your advice here is to help bring them to a more abundance mindset, right? And to help them see the vision, to help intertwine your lives. You see this braid, right? That's and all these flowers, it's like, it takes a little bit at a time, right? It takes the different components coming together and being woven together. So, you're being called to like be patient with them, kind of be like, look, you're being a negative Nancy gangsta. Like, maybe it's time to chill out a little bit and look at how great this opportunity is, or look at how cool things could be if we stop doing things the way that we've always done it before. And we start looking at like, hey, this is a really dope potential here, right? Because that's the thing about Pisces, is y'all are all about being able to look at somebody's highest potential or a situation's highest potential and really like bring that vision to life. And if they don't understand that superpower about you, then they're not going to, like, they're just going to be like, it's a whole mess, you know? And it's like, you're here to kind of ease their anxiety a bit and help bring them into their water. To help them to see that you guys are a team, right? Like, you guys are on each other's team. This is a collaboration, a life collaboration, right? And it doesn't have to be so nitpicky, and it doesn't have to be so like, ugh, everything has to be this way right away. It's like you grow that, right? You, like, a garden at first just looks like a bunch of dirt, right? Like, it's not gonna be a beautiful garden, like, flower bed overnight, you know? You're not gonna have your vegetables overnight. You're not gonna, it takes time and nurturing and bringing the essential conditions to the seed to grow it, right? Because at first, right, you gotta, it's all dirt and fertilizer. It's not anything super pretty. And then you watch it grow into what it is, right? Or into its highest potential there. And I feel like you're really being called to, like, nurture something to its highest potential. Especially if you're dealing with, like, an air or fire sign, like, you could really be, like, a polarity that they need, right? And I'm saying this as somebody who has a lot of air and fire in my chart. So, like, you know, sometimes they get so motivated by the objective, by the outcome, that they forget that, like, you can't just go from start to finish. There's a lot of steps in between. And as long as you're there and being like, look, we're on a team, we're growing this together, we got this, we're establishing it, it's like you're showing up in this energy of, like, we're doing this. It's going to be dope, right? All those things that you're complaining about, stop it. All those things that you're worried about, stop it. This is, you know, how the dream is created. It's like, for example, like a really great example for me at least is fashion design, right? I've never once heard of an overnight fashion designer that just took off, right? No, they have to do seasons and seasons of collections. They have to build up like crazy portfolios. They have to put in so much consistent hard work to get anywhere, right? In the fashion industry. So, like, if you're trying to build something great, right, you're not going to build Rome in a day, right? You might be able to build, like, a cute little hut, okay? But, like, if you want all of Rome, that's going to take time, it's going to take effort, that's going to take partnerships, that's going to take collaborations, it's going to take a lot more than just seeing a vision and trying to execute it immediately. Yeah, we have Four of Wands in reverse. I feel like you could have moved, or you, because, like, the Four of Wands is a house card, right? It's also the card of marriage. So there could have been a separation or, like, but I'm feeling more that energy of moving because there's so much togetherness in these cards, right? There's so much collaboration. I'm really feeling this energy that if you haven't just moved, you're about to, right? And it's like establishing the new foundation with somebody. And kind of like learning to live on new terms. there's a warning here. This could make or break a situation. Because right after I said that, we have the Lovers in reverse. With the Ten of Wands in reverse, which tells me that, like, if it becomes so burdensome, then, like, that it's just, like, there's no moving forward. It's just constantly repeating the drama over and over, and there's no, like, collaboration. I don't want to say cooperation, but that's really it, like a co-op, right? Like, if there's no coming together and bringing the skill sets together to grow something good, there could be a separation or somebody walking away from a situation. But the Ace of Cups in reverse, it's because, like, it's really hard to love somebody who refuses to love themselves, right? And it does look like a love situation, to be honest. And it's like, if it gets to the point where, like, there's just no fixing a situation, there could be a separation, or at least, like, an emotional separation, which is almost worse when you're still stuck in a place with somebody, but, like, everything else is kind of, like, fizzled out. Been there. We have the Strength card, Leo energy. And this is really calling you to tap into your inner strength. This is really calling you to be brave and courageous and to trust the process, whatever happens, right? If things work in your favor, if things work out, that's great. If it becomes unmanageable to the point where you cannot make something work out, then, like, totally makes sense to be like, you know what, this is just too fucking much of a burden, emotionally, physically, whatever. If you're working your ass off for something, and every time you accomplish something great with somebody, all they can do is, like, nitpick it and, like, tear it apart, that's disheartening, right? And you can't really continue something on with somebody of that mindset. That's not the way that you're rigged, right? Astrologically, you're not rigged for that. A Taurus could, a lot better than a Pisces could. Right? A Taurus could handle that kind of discord a bit longer, right? And I'm only saying that because I've seen it, right? I've seen Tauruses go through some shit where they're like, it's okay, I'm gonna stick it out. And it's like, bro, you don't really need to, like, killing yourself over there, So, yeah, there's just this heavy energy that this could go one of two ways, where, one, you strengthen the bond, you stay together, you cooperate, collaborate, you bring your skill sets together, or the alternative, if there is no meeting eye to eye, if there is no, like, vibing on the same frequency, things could go the other way, and there could be a separation. And, because, like, I see it this way. The best time to leave a relationship is when you realize that you could be happier without them, right? That you're so miserable in a connection that it's not worse to leave. That's a good, like, okay, I'm done. And you've got the Hierophant, Taurus energy showing up. As soon as I say it, right, we got Gemini, Taurus, Leo. Got all the guys on the freaking board right now. With the Hierophant in the upright, if you notice, like, they're going to their spirit guide, right? And I feel like you're being called to do so, right? To reach out to your ancestors, your spirit guides, your your deities, whatever it is, I don't know. I don't judge anybody's path. Whatever your path is, do that, but it's like, whatever you see as like your, divine thing, like you're being called to go and talk to it, right? To like go seek some answers, go like commune with the gods, if you will. The best way I always do it, sometimes long ass drives in silence is the best way, right? Because you can't really fall asleep while you're driving, and it puts you in kind of a meditative state. Yeah, you have to like be centered. You have to be present for it, and also like fuck it if other drivers judge you while you're sitting there praying in your car. Who cares, right? Have a full ass conversation with the divine, with your ancestors, with your angels, whatever. I wish that there was like, I guess there was a singular word for it, God, right? But yeah, you're really called to do that because you're in a state of learning and growing. You're developing. You're spiritually like coming to a next level here, right? Spiritually leveling up. And when we spiritually level up, that's when we find a lot of discourse with others. That's when we find like vibes not working, right? It feels like the things that you once were magnetized to, it now feels like a magnet has flipped, and it's now like repelling each other, right? Or I almost want to say repulsed by each other. That happens too. You might even become repulsed by their energy, or on the flippity flop, they might become repulsed by yours because you're so optimistic, right? And a lot of people, when they're in a very negative mindset, they don't like that, right? I literally worked with a girl who she would always come into work and she'd always be happy and and then our coworkers would be like, can't stand her. She's always so fucking bubbly, and I'm like, is that hurting your spirit right now? Because I love her. Like, she's sick as hell. What are you talking about? She's never done anything like to anybody. She's just trying to have a good day. I don't know what the problem is, but it really does fuck with people's spirits when they're just like in such a negative, like they can't get out of it. They don't like that. That's why I take the Stoic method. It's like, I could be having the best fucking day, and I'll be walking around like, I could be having the worst fucking day, and I'll be walking around like, right? Because, like, if you keep the same countenance all the time, it's like, it keeps you away from the energy vampires on all directions, right? Yeah, we have Seven of Pentacles in reverse, Two of Pentacles in reverse. I want to sit with these two cards for a minute here. For Earth energy, Seven of Pentacles is all about, like, being excited for something, right? Being excited to, like, get something done, to have, to fulfill something. Seven of Pentacles in reverse is not so positive. Or it could mean like there's no more things to look forward to, right? You've already accomplished what it was that you were looking forward to, and then there's like a disenchantment that happens where they're like, okay, I already got that, now what? And it's because humans have this constant thing in their brain where it's like, I got this, now I need better. I got this, now I need better. And they fail to realize that they just achieved the very things that they have been praying for, that they've been begging the universe for. And then there's a lack of gratitude that comes with that. And having gratitude brings in more, right? Because you're not looking for more. You're like, look at what I just done. Look what I achieved. Look at what I got. I did that. And it's like, if you sit in that energy, then the universe wants to bless you more. It's like, look at this happy little fool, just so stoked about what they just accomplished. Let's give them more to be stoked about, Whereas the person who is like, well, that wasn't enough. Now I need more. Now that I've achieved that, now I'm bored and do. Then the universe is like, you have no gratitude for what we did for you. Well, sorry. We're just going to give you more lessons then in what it's like to lose. Right? Because apparently you need to lose some more in order to learn how to have gratitude. I know, because, I've been there. I myself have learned this lesson. And, yeah, I'm going to continue. We have Knight of Wands with the Hanged Muse. Knight of Wands is all about good news, right? A cause for celebration. You see all the fireworks. You see how stoked this little horsey is. Good shit, right? And then it's like going straight from this great news, this awesome opportunity to now what, right? With the Hanged Muse, it's like, now what? Now I'm stuck and don't know how to move forward from this point. With the Two of Swords in reverse, Nine of Wands. Two of Swords in reverse is don't be defensive, right? When somebody's coming in on this energy of negativity, don't entertain that energy, right? Don't embody the same energy. Rather, bring your own, right? Because with the Nine of Wands, I'm seeing somebody who just came through a lot, right? Who just accomplished a lot, who had to go through knowing what it's like to lose out on a lot and come forward as a fucking, victorious warrior. The Nine of Wands is a wounded warrior, right? This is somebody who has experienced a lot of wounds, physical wounds perhaps, or emotional wounds. These are things that you learn from that really brought you to this place of gratitude for all that you do have. And that's why if you're dealing with somebody who's always kind of gotten their way in life, right? They've never really lost out on things, or they've never experienced great disappointment. Ironically, they live in a state of disappointment, right? Because it's been easier, right? We can see this example with celebrities, like the Paris Hilton, completely disenchanted by the whole experience of all the wealth that she's just been raised into. It's not like she ever had to accomplish that for herself. She didn't have to work super hard. She does not know what it's like to work a manual labor job. That's not her fault, right? It's not her fault. She will, for the rest of her life, not know what that's like. Okay, and same with Donald Trump. His whole life, never had to work on a farm. Okay, probably never even walked in mud. And then they have this mindset as people who've never had to do those things, right? And they typically don't come from a place of gratitude for what they have, just taking it all for granted and always feeling like, well, it could be better. I could have better. I deserve better. I've always gotten what I want, and I deserve what I want all the time, right? And sometimes the best thing is to not get what you want, right? Sometimes the best lesson you will ever receive in your whole life is not getting what you want. And I know A lot of people don't want to hear that. I didn't want to hear it. All right, believe me, if I could tell you all the times I did not get what I want, and it led me to something so much better through that like life experience, and I'm really grateful for all the things that I did not get, all the things I did not receive. I'm really grateful for the things that I have lost out on in life, opportunities that I missed, all that. Hella grateful because it built character, right? It helped me to understand the other side of existence, right? And then when I do get things in life, I value them a lot more because it's not like these things came into my life easily, right? These are things I had to make happen through a lot of manual labor and a lot of hard work, right? Like, it's funny because, like, my hands are more calloused than most men I know. And it's not even like no, I'm so much cooler. It's like, that sucks, actually, right? I want to have cute, pretty hands, but what I do, I can't, But on the flip side of that, even though I'm never gonna I might have soft hands one day. If that ever happens, I'll let y'all know I made it. Okay, but also, I can lift 4D batteries by myself, right? Like, I can, and if any of you guys know what those are those big fucking tractor batteries, like, the big ass. They're like they weigh about as much as I do, probably more, I don't know. But they're fucking huge, and they're completely filled with lead, like that saying, like it went over like a lead balloon. Lead is heavy, okay? Lead is heavy as fuck, so they're filled with lead and acid, right? And acid is like also heavy because it's a liquid, and so imagine like a big lead fucking, like it's a lot, right? If I were to go into an arm wrestling match against somebody like Donald Trump, I'd whoop that ass, right? And that's all based on life experience alone, right? That's not training, that's not, and it's because like I got a skill set that he'll never know, he'll never have. He's never gonna know the inner workings of a battery, right? I guarantee it. And if he does, I'd be surprised. That would blow my fucking mind. I'd be like, well, no way does this guy know a thing or two about that. Or like, also like having to endure the emotional upset of being a young, very empathetic adult and watching a baby chicken get its neck wrung because it was born disformed, right? Or deformed. That fucking sucks. That's something, I still get nightmares about that. I'm like, I could have taken it home, I could have raised this thing, it would have been my baby, but nope, they just grabbed it before, like, anything could have happened, and that shit is like a nightmare to watch, like, the spine come out, and, okay? And what I'm saying, the whole point of that little rant is that because of all that you've gone through, you've done a lot of character building exercises in your life through your hardships, okay? Through all that you've had to endure, through the emotional shit, through the physical shit, through all that shit, it made you a stronger individual. And when you are paired up with individuals that have not experienced that at all, that's very difficult. It's very difficult. It could go one of two ways, where you can teach them from your perspective and you can help them grow and whatever, or you can be like, you know what, you just don't get it, and walk away from it. you know? We have the High Priestess in reverse, Pisces in reverse. You don't want to take the guidance from your ancestors, because I think you know what they're saying. And I think, like, you're like, I just achieved all this. I don't want to just I know. But the Muse of Materials is a promise, though, that wherever the universe takes you, you will be walking into abundance, right? Because this started out as a journey of two, and what I'm seeing is a journey of you at the end here, right? And it's saying, whatever you walk towards, whatever you walk away from, you're walking in a direction that's going to bring you better outcomes, right? With people who are more in your frequency, people who understand you better on an intrinsic level. And I know that's hard, especially when you have mad love for somebody who cannot understand you, you know? Or when you have mad love for somebody that you can't understand because you're like, I didn't live that kind of life, right? I do not know what it's like to complain after getting so many blessings. I do not know. These are things that I would have been, overjoyed with. And having to, see somebody just in utter disappointment by the things that you are just like vibing on. That's hard, right? It's hard, right? And that's why Jasmine and Aladdin in real life wouldn't have worked out. Okay, let me be real. In real life, they would not have worked out because Aladdin had to know hardship. It took him in a whole different, area. Jasmine, the pampered little princess that got everything, and then got upset when things weren't going her way and had to bring an entire, kingdom into uproar. Aladdin would not have tolerated that in the real world, right? And in reality, that's why it's a fairy tale, because in reality, he would have made it better with one of the girls in the brothel that he was dancing with in the beginning, right? Because he would have understood them on a more intrinsic level of having to earn their keep. Yeah. In whatever way. And in reality, Jasmine would have been better off with Jafar, because they both essentially wanted the same thing. And maybe I'm a villain for bringing that into the limelight, to completely destroy a fairy tale for everyone. It's true though, and that's probably why Belle and the Beast were actually pretty on par with each other, because they both suffered so much in their life, right? They struggled hard. Nobody understood Belle. She always felt estranged from everyone, and then she finally meets somebody who, understands her and wants her to read books to them and shit, and, that's why they actually, kind of make sense, right? And I know I'm going all Disney on this, but I want you to understand, if you're dealing with somebody who's not equally yoked, their spirit ain't going in the same direction as your spirit, that is a hard relationship to maintain. It's not impossible. Like I said, there's two directions this can go, and this is all based on a decision that you'll make. With the Two of Pentacles in reverse, there is a big decision to be made, and maybe not now, maybe not 3 months from now, maybe even a year from now. It's not going to be a year from now. It's not going to take that long. But, sit on it. Let the universe decide if you need to. But eventually, either you're going to grow together or you're going to grow apart. That's what I'm seeing. And it's going to be based on a lot of how well you guys can work together on this, how well you can collaborate, how well you can take your life lessons and teach them, right? Show them what it's like to actually be a person of gratitude, to actually, wake up in the morning and say to themselves, what a grand rising, like, what a grand rising to wake up with the sun, have a whole day ahead of you, and be able to just make shit happen, right? Some people don't want to become better, and that's also a harsh reality, so, let your journey take you where it's going to take you. Either way, I do see that you're being led to a road of abundance. See that things are turning in your favor, even if there will be times where it feels like it's not, right? You might feel like your will is being thwarted. But just trust where you're being led. Trust the direction the universe is taking you. Krishna out. You can have what you need and desire, but you must be prepared to enter into the sacred fire to make the appropriate offering. Shift from focusing on what isn't working to handing over all concerns as a prayer offering to the divine. All can then be resolved and shall manifest according to loving and generous grace. Blue Tara. Chaos will give way to the higher order of love. Let there be peace in your heart as Blue Tara looks to her right, gazing toward the future. She sees a vision of your peaceful, protected, and authentically expressive future. You have every right to feel hopeful, happy, and secure in the destiny now unfolding for you. So yeah, I feel like trust the process. You got this. Namaste. I love you guys. We'll see you on the next one.